I can't tell if I really got this set up where I want it. Try that. I think we're just going to tie some jigs today, try to get caught up. I got a whole pile of them right here on the table. Probably got like, oh, maybe 45 of them, 50 so, something like that. Just gonna tie these up and see what we come up with. I'm gonna start out with a white and pink, or yellow and pink. But thread a bobbin right off the bat though. We're gonna run out on that one. Might have enough to keep it going. Yeah, I don't want to use that one, so we're gonna swap that out. I'm gonna run out of that pretty quick. It's yeah, let's swap this one. Pretty long shank hooks. I don't usually tie. I don't like tying jigs with a hook shank that long. Let's do pink and let's go pink chartreuse hack on a pink body on it. See what we come up with. And we're going to start out cutting off a few tips. And I'm going after all these sharp ones. I don't think I'm going to fool with any, cutting out any V's. We're going to leave them at that. Throw a couple pink ones in there, some flash. I wasn't even really sure what I was going to tie up when I came down here. I got a pile of jig heads a friend of mine sent me. Wanted me to just tie them up, so we're just going to work on doing that. There we go. We're going to stack all three of them together like that. Pink one right in the middle and two chartreuse ones on the outside. That's going to come out pretty good. So who all we got in here today? Everybody give a shout out. Where are you from? Who's all here? I'm curious to see who we got. We are going to put in some pink polar flash on this one. Turn that flash off. Finish off my jig heads. I usually paint them. Mark Siri from Fair Grove. All I do to my jig heads is powder coat them and bake them. That is all I do to mine. Let's go with the bubblegum Chanel. Ray Simmons from Sedalia. Man, y'all close to home tonight. I just got done tying a big order of bucktail jigs, and it feels weird going back to the Chanel and oh, we got one up here from Michigan. I'm running YouTube live and TikTok live both at the same time. Head cement right here. Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. Exact same thing as any head cement you're going to buy. Cheaper, get it at Walmart. Works just as good. I promise you, works just as good.
Got someone from Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York in the house. Tom, how's it going? Getting ahead of myself. Like I said, it feels weird. I've been tying so many bucktail jigs that haven't tied a normal one with the Chanel body in it for a few days. Thank you very much, 402 Jigs and Tackle. I appreciate that. I've been seeing some of your jigs. Some of your jigs are coming out really nice too. I like some of those. Like I said, we're running live on TikTok. We're running live on YouTube, both at the same time. You got any questions, comments? Want to see a tool I use or anything else? Let me know. That's what I'm here for. Anything. You bring it up, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about crappie fishing. We'll talk about deer hunting. You name it.
From Ohio.
Ohio. Getting them way out there tonight. Right there. Pretty jig. You can never go wrong. Pick a chartreuse jig. Classic. One of my favorites. One of my all-time favorites.
From Georgia.
Georgia. We're going to try to do them in doubles. We've got, oh, you're going to love that new Peak Vice. My YouTube channel is the exact same thing, Eric Massey Jig Company on YouTube, and I am from Bolivar, Missouri. So if for some reason you'd rather tune in on YouTube, maybe you can watch it from your TV, exact same channel, Eric Massey Jig Company. I try to keep them all the exact same. A little less headache trying to track all that stuff down, keep up with it, passwords and all that. So kind of just line it all out the exact same way. We got 20 people watching on YouTube. Let's try to get, well, we got 21 now on YouTube. Let's try to get 21 likes up there. Give me a big thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. I'd appreciate it. Who said that? Bolivar, Missouri is where I'm from. I've got a pile of jig heads there. I'm going to move and I'm going to knock them all down. We go.
With earrings for 53s, you still think the crappie
Ace catfish. 50-degree water temperature, man. I totally missed the whole entire spawn, I believe. Worked a lot of overtime. I haven't had my boat out for quite a while. Got up this morning. I had a couple of jig orders I need to get tied up. Same thing like every weekend. 20-mile-an-hour wind. Front just went through. Front's coming through. Good day to get caught up on time jigs. Got it up to 11 likes. I got another camera stand right in the way, so I really can't see what I'm doing with that jig. Sometimes when I'm tying, I'm recording and something like that. I honestly, I kind of watch the other side of it to make sure it's all going down right. Looks like it is so far. Louisiana. What's the water temperature down in Louisiana now?
Do you like the whip tying tool you're using better than the
Evening, Smitty Smith. Yeah, the whip finish tool. What was the question on it?
Do you like the whip tying tool you're using better than the
It's actually this. I've had this one ever since I've started tying. It's easy. It's fast. I got used to it. I've seen other ones. This has always been my favorite. It's got a good swivel to it. Good easy swivel to it. Turns nice and smooth. I've never really tried the loom. I know which one you're talking about. It's a little thinner, and I like this one because it don't quite have the give in it when I'm pulling the pressure down, and that's the biggest reason I stuck with this one is because of the thickness. I've always liked this one better. Like I said, I've never tried the loom, so the loom might be better, might not be better. Give me a hat that's up there. If you're on my YouTube channel tonight, at the end of the show, we're going to give away a Plateau Fly Shop hat. I got it while I was down at the shop. We're going to throw it in. We're going to give it away tonight. Hope you can see it. Give a thumbs up if you think you'd like that hat, or if you'd like to see some more hats on here. I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can get a hold of some more of these from the Plateau Fly Shop, and maybe start giving a hat away every other week or something like that. Kind of depends. See what we get into.
Where can you get a whip finish tool like that?
I know you can get that whip finish tool off Amazon. I know if you go to Bass Pro, I'm sure they got them back in their fly time section. They got most Bass Pros. They got a fly fishing area, and there's usually all the tools back there. You get a hold of Austin at the Plateau Fly Shop. Maybe he could get you one in the mail. Probably find it on Amazon, and I'm not sure what the name of it is. I can't remember the name of it. I'll think of it here in a little bit. Does everybody else use a whip finish tool? You guys at Ty, or are you guys doing the whip finish with your hand? I've seen other people on YouTube do it and actually use their fingers.
Ace Catfish says, I have yellow balloon, I hate it. Keep the one you have, it's much nicer.
I would think so. I like the stiffness of that. I like that backbone where it don't really flex. I've got another one, and when I went and bought it, I thought it was the exact same thing, but it's just a little bit smaller than this one, and it's a little bit thinner, and it's got just a little bit more flex in it than this one does. And I've actually even got one that's even smaller than that I thought I would need for like 1/64th, 1/32. You can see the difference. This is my normal one. This is the other one I bought thinking I would need it for smaller jigs, and I do not. It's got so much in it that even some of the heavier threads I use while I'm tying is too much for this one, and I've used it like 3 times. Don't like that one. And I think if I remember right, this one is a 5-inch. I think it's a 5-inch whip finish tool, but I can't remember the name of the place that makes it. Honestly, I don't have one certain brand of tool I stick with. I don't know, I get used to tying with something and I like it and I don't like losing it. When you're, I got a question on TikTok that says he's having trouble making his bodies look even. They always look tapered. Are you using jig heads that have the collars on them, or are you taking the collars off, or are you leaving the collars on?
It runs like 5 seconds behind.
Huh?
The videos run like so many seconds behind.
That's my video moderator back here, keeping track of comments. Let me know who's here. Let me know who's not, who's out, questions and all that.
Country Boy says, quality of the jigs are amazing.
Thank you, Country Boy. I appreciate that.
What's your favorite brands of tying jigs?
Yours is 5 seconds behind mine. I already answered it.
Oh, maybe so that's the brand.
Yeah. Something else pretty handy to have around, 100% pure acetone. It will take the super glue off stuff. It will clean the resin off. Pretty handy, pretty handy. Let's switch back to let's go black and chartreuse.
What kind of crappie rods do you use? I just bought some ACC sticks, and then are they nice?
I will show you what I use. Since you brought it up, this right here is what I use. Exact same thing, the ACC crappie sticks. I wanted to try something different since I vertical jig fish most. I want to try this Mr. Crappie reel out. Might be the worst thing I ever bought, and it might not, but I know I don't really need a reel that holds, 150-yard line when I'm only fishing 10 foot deep most of the time. These rods, I use the ACC crappie sticks. When Zach's with me, Zach's usually using the B&M sticks. the B&M rods. I think the B&M rods have got a little more play, a little more flex in them. So when he sets the hook, he gets that bend. He don't get that straight up. This is a little faster action tip on ACC crappie sticks. This one I've got in my hand right now is a 12-foot, yeah, GS 12M. This is my favorite. I've yet to test these reels out. I've heard good things about them. I've heard bad things about them. But like I said, I really don't. I want it to go to something a little bit different because I don't really need all the line on the rest of them. But yes, I absolutely love my ACC crappie sticks. No matter, I've heard a ton of bad things about them. Andy Lehman is making one of the best rods on the market and the best price on the market. I will guarantee you that between the ACC crappie stick, B&M rod, you can't go wrong with either one. I lean a little more toward ACC crappie stick because I like the faster action in it. Zach likes the B&M rods because he's got the extra bend in it for him. It kind of helps him set the hook. With the ACC crappie stick, I believe he was ripping the hooks right out of their mouth, and with the B&M rods, he's got a little more play in it. But yeah, that's all I use, ACC crappie sticks. Like I said, hats off to Andy Lehman. It's a beautiful rod. Would not use anything different. I've not been dissatisfied with that rod yet. Either one of them. I got two 12-footers, and I believe I have three 10-footers, and I've got the 12-foot ACC crappie stick, and I've got I have three 12-foot B&M rods. Absolutely love that rod. I cannot say enough about it. But if you ever check Andy Lehman out, tell him I told you that was the best rod I ever had in my hand. We were spider rigging a lake one time last year, and Zach had just caught a big crappie on one of the 10-foot ACC crappie sticks, and he laid the rod back over the back deck of the boat, and the boat was still moving. Well, that hook snagged on a stump in the lake, and it pulled that rod in the lake. That rod floated. I didn't know they were supposed to float. I sent Andy Lehman a message, and he said it depends on the weight of the reel. Some will and some won't, depending on how heavy your reel is. But all I know is that it floated. It's saved me ordering a new one because there's really nobody local around here that sells the ACC crappie sticks. And I usually end up ordering them from him. Actually, I bought the 12-footers at the Crappie Expo last year. And yeah, the 12-foot rods, I like the 12-foot rods because we can fish 12 foot in front of the boat. We can actually jig a stump that's 12 foot away. I don't have to get close to it. I don't spook the fish. It seems like I could pull more fish off one stump using a longer rod than getting right up against it. I usually catch one or two, fish are gone, because I've probably spooked them. So I like to keep my distance. We fish a lot of bridges, a lot of standing timber, and I like to kind of keep my distance from them and try to keep from spooking them. I don't have live scope on my boat. Don't know if I ever get it or not. I can't guarantee you that I'm spooking them, but I know seems like we do a lot better the further we stay away from structure, as far away as we can get. 12 foot's as long as I'll go. I've seen people with 16-foot rods. 12 foot is absolutely as long as I'll go. I don't want that much more rod that I'm holding on to. Brand of UV glue. Where is it? This is what I've been using. Light cure UV resin. Seems like it cures a little faster than the last stuff I have. Yep. Customer service is also, I've heard that the customer service is really good with the ACC crappie sticks. The customer service is honestly just as good to at B&M as it is ACC crappie stick. Last year, I shut one in the deck of the boat, cut that rod completely in half. The next Monday, that following Monday, I messaged B&M Rod. I told them the model of the one I had, and within, I think it was 5 days, I had that top section of my rod here in the mail. So I gotta say, you know, I can't complain about B&M's customer service, because they were on the spot with it. But yeah, that's the UV resin I use. Use that one also. I like them both. This one come off Amazon. This one came from Hobby Lobby, maybe. They clear just the same color. Really, really good clear. It seems like that one cures just a little bit faster. But I come up with a little bit better way to cure like 2 or 3 of them at a time. It's for your fingernails. But if you take that mirror, put that mirror underneath of it, like that. Clamp your jig head in there while it's still wet. Stick it in there. You can stand there holding that flashlight for, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever. Let's do chartreuse and black. Seems like I'm always tying chartreuse and black. I'm always tying pink and white. $30 people up right now. 32 people, 25 likes. What do y'all want to talk about next? But yeah, you guys get me going on the ACC crappie sticks. It's a great rod. For the price, you can't beat the ACC crappie stick. I've looked at some of the other ones. Man, some of those are just high dollar. Unbelievable, honestly. I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with mine. That's about all I got to say about that. It's ACC crappie stick, B&M rods, both my favorites. Love them. Man, there ain't nothing like my favorite blue jig combo. Might be able to whip one up here in a minute if I got some. I don't know if I got any blue ones painted. Is there any blue jig heads over there painted? It kind of depends on.
Oh, did you make these?
Can't remember what the last question was. Other than the blue.
Has Fly Shop started their online store?
Huh?
Has the Fly Shop started their online store, and how many tips do you use per head?
I don't think they've started their online store yet. I don't think he's had enough time to set that up. Just taking ownership of it, I'm guessing it's probably going to take him a little bit before he gets set up. So bear with him. Like I said, it's he'd been working there for a while, but I'm pretty sure it's a whole new experience for him. Trying to get his store set up, take care of customers, get his inventory fixed. Tips and V's, it kind of depends. Most of the time I will use 2 tips, 1 V, 2 tips, 2 V's. That's the most I'm going to put in them. But when I ran into these at the Plateau Fly Shop, it's a whole pack of tips already cut down. $2 for that whole big pack. So I don't know if I'll ever cut these again. If I can use all tips on my jig, I'll probably use all tips because you can cut some a little longer, some a little shorter. You know, no two are ever shaped the same. So you still get a different profile of your bait. But that bag of, let me see if I can read it again. Tell you what it's called. The mini pack of neck hackle. Plateau Fly Shop, Springfield, Missouri. That whole bag was $2. Completely full of perfect tips. So, if I can tie all my jigs with tips, I probably tie them all with tips. I don't know if I'll cut these anymore or not. I still got tons of feathers laying around that I can cut these out of. Not sure if I will, but I got them.
What type of thread do you use?
All my thread comes from Plateau Fly Shop. Every bit of it. I know it sounds like maybe he's paying me, but he's not. It's where I get all mine, and I have got, you know, here's a 70 denier, 140. 140 is probably the one you're going to see me use the most. It's just a kind of a good all-around thread. I like the way it ties. I like it strong and I don't break it. Sometimes I get in a rush and I'm tying real fast and halfway through a jig and boom, that real thin thread breaks. Yeah, I don't, and I was almost going to start this video off tying marabou. Actually, I might even go back and tie some marabou. I don't like it. I don't like tying marabou. I don't like starting with it, but once I start tying marabou jigs, they look beautiful when you're done with them. And honestly, probably has more action under the water than your rubber legs, your hackle feathers. Let's finish this one up, and I think we will. I think we'll do some chartreuse and yellow marabou. It's just not really my favorite to tie with. If you tie and you tie for a while, you'll get some materials you like, and some materials you ain't gonna care that much for. I don't, like I said, marabou's not my favorite. I do not like tying with craft fur. Actually, I don't know if I ever will tie with craft fur anymore. I just cannot stand the way when you cut it, it goes everywhere. Marabou will kind of do that. And you see some tricks with people, they wet it down when they're tying it. I don't like to wet it down. I like to see what it's all going to do. So I leave it. I don't get it wet before I tie it. Let me see what I can come up with. Give me that bucket up there, please.
Do you use this one?
No, just this one. See, it's already floating. It's already in my nose. Pink and chartreuse. Let's get it. Nope. What was it?
Do you like to use mono instead of thread?
I don't know if I get the question if I like to use mono instead of thread. Not sure where you're at with that. I use fly tying thread for all my jigs, and so we're going to go back to that pink and yellow one we started out with, and this was the one that I was actually going to go. I was going to tie to begin with, and I was going to do it out of marabou. Well, get my camera straightened out. Okay, I'll kind of give you a rundown on how I do it. Let's get this coated up first, and let me get my camera set up a little bit better. To adjust the device down so. So we're going to start out just like normal. We're going to wrap that all the way to the tip of your hook. Bring it all the way back up. Tell you what, we have got absolutely nobody whatsoever on TikTok, and usually that baby is full. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get this camera up a little bit closer. Okay, so when you get marabou, it's going to come strung most of the time. I'm assuming it's probably always strung. I don't know if you can get it loose feathered or not, but you got all these strings all kind of sewn together. At the ends, you know, if you're tying jigs, you can already see what you're wanting. You're wanting all these little tips. You're wanting that sharp end of them. Or I do. That's my opinion. I like the sharp little ends of it. So I'm going to reach down in here. So let's take our scissors and we're going to cut that white stitch string off. And that's going to free up a couple feathers. I said it would, but didn't want to real nicely, did I? So I've got that patch of marabou I just pulled off. There's some stragglers down there on the end. I don't want those. What I'm wanting is these right here. So we're going to pull it out. To where it's the length and a half. Actually, we're going to go the length of the shank of the hook and half past that. And what I've got in my hand honestly feels like just about enough. There's some loose ones in there, and we're going to try to get some of those loose ones out. And I see a lot of people lay that on there, and they start tying it. It works for them. I don't like doing it that way. I like go ahead and cutting off exactly what I'm going to use, which is going to be that amount. Maybe even just a little bit shorter than that. So I'm going to get it all situated right there in my fingers, what I'm going to use. I'm going to cut that off right there, right above where my fingers are. So that's left me with this perfect little bundle of tail material. Push it down there on my hook, tie it all the way back to the tip of your hook, and then pull right back up. I might have made this one just a little bit too long, but actually I don't think so. I think it's just about right. So now we are going to go to the pink marabou. Well, since I've already got so much up there on the bottom, I don't like that marabou feather at all. There we go. Now we're back to those sharp little points again. We're going to strip that back. And I might even split it in half. work it right back out again, and I'm gonna lay it right on top. I'm gonna keep it all pulled back. I'll get it all situated, then I'm gonna pull it back up. And like I said, I think I got that chartreuse just a little bit thicker than what I wanted. And we're gonna go with and tie another one. Like I said, usually when I tie jigs, if I'm tying something different or tying something I don't normally tie a lot of, usually my first one's going to be my test one, and it's probably going to end up in my box. And you know, as I'm tying that first one, I can tell I use a little too much here, a little too much there, so I kind of adjust to it as I'm going. I'll just tie these up and we'll go back and glue them down later. A little rough, been a few months since I tied a marabou jig, but it came out pretty good. Wasn't horrible. Wasn't my prettiest, but it worked. Do another one. Anybody get to fish today at all? Y'all are a very quiet group tonight. Yeah, we're back to the, we're gonna find something. Right there, we're gonna go up and grab this one. Right there. I want those short ones out of it. Yeah, it didn't rain here all day. I think it just started raining, but man, it sure looked like it was going to all day. I'm gonna let that one down because it's really being stubborn. I used to bow hunt. I don't anymore. I used to live to bow hunt. That was I never quit. Actually, I would spend all summer long scouting and shooting.
What's the water color of overlay?
I don't know. I haven't been there for a while. If I had to guess, with all the rain we've had the last couple of days, I'd say it's probably pretty muddy. Let's tie this one up and then we'll do one with rubber legs. Let's do that. Like I said, y'all call it, y'all make the shot, y'all tell me what you want to see and we'll do it. I started out all my jigs when I first started was all out of rubber legs because it was all I had. So when I first started tying jigs, I'd go to Walmart. Of course, Walmart didn't sell any kind of rubber legs like that for, you know, to replace on your spinner baits and stuff. So I came home and started stripping every old spinnerbait I had out of every tackle box I could find. And that's where I got my rubber legs from. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 spinnerbaits hanging right there on the wall that I've pulled all the skirts out of because I wanted those colors to make crappie jigs. Yeah, I destroyed a $3 bait to make a $2 bait, or I think I was selling for like $1.75 a piece in. So, yep, I was destroying $4 spinner baits to make $1.75 crappie baits. You do the math.
Thanks, Jigs. Continue the awesome wedding videos. You have taught me so much, love it.
Get that one tied up. And then the last one we're going to do tonight will be rubber legs. We'll find something cool. I got some cool colors in the other day I want to use.
Someone wants you to try a June bug chartreuse hair jig.
June bug and chartreuse hair jig. I think I might have just tied one up. No, I don't. I thought I did. I don't. I probably gave it away, I'm sure. Hi, Victor. Probably gave it away because I got into, tied a lot of June bug jigs there for a while. Yeah, I've seen them do it like that. To me, that process looks messy, and it just, man, I don't like trying to cut all that off right there at the head. It seems like it leaves a high spot, and it makes it hard to tie over sometimes. You know, when you're wrapping your snail body down, and all of a sudden, boom, there's this big old hump right there that you got to try to compensate for when you start running that jig, making that body of that jig. That's my marabou jigs. They usually I start tying them for a little bit. They come out a little bit better than that. I'm not really happy with that one. So let's see. Let's do that one. Damn, 2 walleye, 120 and 122. Can't beat that. Can't ever go wrong with the walleye. Then we got to see if we've got a head painted that'll work for that one. Let's do this one right here. It's kind of my signature color. That's my go-to jig head every time I'm crappie fishing. Red and chartreuse. All right, let's change this one over. We're going to tie this one down, and I think we're going to call it a night. The UV hardener. Are you talking about the light, or actually? You talking about the light, or actually what I use on it?
Thanks, Catherine. So this first bunch of jigs, $43.20.
The resin. Got 2 different bottles of resin I use. They're both good. One I got on Amazon, which was this one. The other one I got at Hobby Lobby, Light Cure UV resin. That's the other one I use. Not really sure if there's a big difference in either one of them. Kind of seemed like this one might have cured a little bit faster. Maybe. All right, rubber legs. So I'm going to pull out whatever it takes to get the end of that jig to look to the way I want it to. So, you know, I always say when you're tying either hackle feathers, you're tying bucktail, start out kind of light at first, because you can always add to it. You know, start out, let's go, I got an 1/8 ounce jig head with the number 4 sickle hook. let's start out with let's go 3 or 4 strands. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's actually 5 in there, so we're gonna pull out 5. I'm gonna cut it up to about where that chartreuse is. We're gonna tie it down on there. And as I'm tying those rubber legs on, it'll spin a little bit, and I want it to spin, so that way I've kind of got that all around the shank of the hook. Now what I'm looking for is, did I get all the spots on that hook covered? And there's a couple little bald spots right here. We're going to go back and we're going to put some more in. So we're going to go with, say, let's go with 2 more. Cut 2 more off, and we're going to tie them right there where that missing spot was. And I'm going to stretch it out straight, so that way I know it stays in that spot. Just like so. And it looks pretty full to me. I'm happy with that. So to give you an exact number of how many strands, it's kind of up to you. Do you think it looks full? Do you think it needs a little bit more? Would you rather have a big tail on it? Would you rather have a thin tail on it? It's kind of what you're tying and how you want it tied, and that look you're trying to achieve. We are going to use red small Antron Chanel on this one. We're going to put a little bit of rainbow flash in it too, since we've got those kind of colors in it. Rainbow tinsel Chanel. And this jig's kind of got like clown colors to it. I think this one Bozo. It does. It's like the 4th of July. We either call it Bozo after a clown, or we could call it the Missouri Sparkler. Missouri Sparkler. I bet it'll slap a crappie in the mouth, though. I bet there's a crappie somewhere that is going to eat that. I might keep this one for myself because it's kind of got me intrigued. I could almost take a jig head that's blue. What do we have? 227? Huh? I got 33 likes, 29 people watching. We're going to do a free hat, or we're going to generate one? Generate one, do it. Let's see who's going to get that hat. Get that hat, I'm going to throw that jig in too. I'm going to send somebody that jig. Somebody that's promised me you're going to fish with this and send me back a picture of what it does, because that is a cool looking jig. Lake Erie at 50 degrees. Around here they started spawning in 59, and I think they peaked spawned at like 20 or 63. Somewhere between 59 to 60, 70. That's your magic numbers. And here it usually lasts up until about June. Water temperature even start getting a little bit hotter, a little bit warmer, the surface water temperature. But I'd focus, I don't like bank fishing a whole lot for crappie in the boat. I usually come off the bank some, and I'll start out like 13-foot depth and work my way up shallower until I find them. Usually I can find those spawning crappie further off the bank than right on the bank, like most people are out chasing. Look for them in deeper water first. Look for that creek channel where they're going up. Follow it backwards. You find that creek channel in that cove, go back out. Usually somewhere along that travel corridor is when you're going to find those crappie during the summer, during the winter. You know, because you got that spawn that's going to last a month, maybe. You know, it'll start at one end of the lake, work its way all the way up. Summer months, winter months, the bite is just as good, if not better, out in deeper water. And they're always there. You get those spawning crappie up on the bank, you get a 2-degree shift in temperature, boom, they're gone. You can't find them again until everything's laid back out to the way they want it and get back up there. That's my tip on crappie fishing the spawn right now. I'll be glad when it's over and ready to go back out to deep water. That's my favorite. I like fishing. I like trying to find them out 35, 36, 37 foot of water, find them on vertical structure and vertical jig fishing them like that. Eric Massey Jig Company on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Is that all I got? Yeah, that's all I got. That's all. I'm Eric Massey Jig Company across the board, anywhere. Give it away. Please say. Leonard Stevens, that hat is yours. That crappie jig's yours. Send me your address, mailing information. I'll try to get this stuff out in the mail tomorrow if I can get a box to put that hat inside of. Everybody, if you like this show, send me a thumbs up, send me an emoji, a smiley face, send me anything. Let me know that this is working, because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep doing the live feeds or if I was just going to go back to doing videos. But I kind of like doing the live feeds. I like getting the interaction with, you know, somebody wants to see marabou tied up. Well, I'm going to, you know, we still got enough time. I'm going to tie it up. We've almost stretched this out for a full hour. I want to give a big shout out, big thanks to Plateau Fly Shop for helping me stay stocked up in the materials I got. Give Austin a call. Let him know you're still interested in seeing a live feed come from his store. I'm going to try to do live every single Sunday, sometime between 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm going to try to get to where we're going to be doing some live from Plateau Fly Shop in Springfield. But yeah, y'all let me know. Make sure this is what you want to see. If not, and like I said, this is up to y'all. I'll do on the show what y'all want to see. A tool you need to see, a paint you need to see. Any process from tying. I mean, we tied almost. Only thing we didn't tie tonight was bucktail or the flash that I usually use when I'm tying jigs sometimes. Maybe next time we'll do them all out of bucktail. I tied so many bucktail jigs today. I was burnt out on the bucktail. I put it all up and moved on. But like, share, subscribe, hit that bell. It'll let you know when I'm back on. Stay tuned. We'll be doing some videos this week. Hopefully, if the overtime works out. That's all I got, YouTube. Everybody stay safe. Have a good week. And we'll see you back here next week.